Unscripted.
Obviously, Returnal is a big game for Sony, a big game for the PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 5 exclusive, something that takes really good advantage of the console itself. And obviously, a lot of people are playing the game, a lot of people are talking about the game, large part due to the fact that, we're not getting as many games as we normally would, due to, obviously, a pandemic that's kind of going on right now. With that being said, the game has now been out for over a good solid weekend, and I'm seeing a lot of people play it. I've had a chance to hop in it a little bit myself, but I was a little bit hesitant to really spend too much time with it due to the fact that a lot of people were reporting glitches and bugs and things like that that were offering serious hindrance to what the game was actually going to be able to do and what it was able to kind of what you were going to be able to play. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, you do these different runs through biomes in the game, and these things can take 2 to 3 hours to complete, and a lot of people's PlayStation 5s were freezing up at that 2.5, 3 hour mark, meaning you lose all your progress. You kind of lose progress anyway if you die, but imagine you beat a boss or you just beat a boss, and the next thing you know, you go to open a container and boom, you basically are screwed. That's something that a lot of people are actually, that's basically the sort of thing that people are dealing with. So there are some official things out there talking about what exactly is wrong. Again, for this thing, I know it's this is a $70 game, right? I don't know exactly how to feel about this. On one hand, you have a situation where part of this game, at least for the last year, is built on, developers who are basically locked down. And, is it forgivable for some of this stuff? It's really a sort of touch and go subject, because I know a lot of people are just like, well, $70 is a lot for a game, and, and it locks up and it's frustrating and you can't do this and you can't do that. So while it's certainly not affecting everyone, a number of Returnal players are experiencing crashes while playing the game. Now, this is something Housemarque has acknowledged, although it suggested that the PlayStation 5 is the problem and not necessarily the game. Writing on Discord, a spokesperson said, quote unquote, "This is an issue with the platform. We sent our report to Sony specifically. It has something to do with the pre-start system. We haven't got a clue what the pre-start system is, but that doesn't sound good to me or you or probably anybody." So in more positive news, the developer is already aware of and investigating a number of other minor issues, including audio glitches, control mapping errors, and a bug with the pre-order suit. So this is some of the stuff that we've seen that has a bit of a problem. Okay, this might not be a problem for everyone, but apparently it's big enough for them to address. The game doesn't have a save option. The team is aware of this issue, so there's no need to bring it to their attention anymore. Not able to interact with the fabricators and not able to pass through doors. Apparently, if you are using a pre-order suit, enter the pause menu and select restart your run. Select the plain suit, and in your spaceship your run will be aborted, but any permanent progress and weapon upgrade progress is kept. Audio issues, so audio may be too loud or cut off completely. Barnacles not appearing visually. Invisible barnacles may stalk the map and suck you up, even though you can't see them. After remapping controls, some interactions may not work. So custom control mapping may prevent you from reading items in the house, cleansing chests, or other interactions. To fix the issue for now, use the default controller settings. The crashing error is the big bummer, so hopefully Sony can put out a update to smooth things over. Now, see, the thing is with this game is there's no save feature, so if you do want to stop in the middle of a run, the only thing you can do is put your console into rest mode. The problem with that is this game is getting updates all the time. So when your game updates, it automatically starts doing that for you usually, and so you basically will lose your progress and things like that, and it's a little bit unfortunate, to say the least, but at least they're very much aware of the issues that are going on and things like that, and they're going to be able to sort of get something going to get this better, make this right with fans everywhere. I think it's very critical that this game and this type of, this is a new IP. This is something that is risky, and this is something that a lot of people are, obviously playing right now. So there's all eyes on them and it just doesn't. It's not really a good look to see, you know, this $70 price tag game have these kind of bugs and stuff like that. Like, no matter whose issue it is, if it's Sony's issue, then they need to get on that pretty quickly and work on trying to make sure that, you know, they can enable their developers to put the best possibly quality product out there that they can. Meanwhile, we have to also make sure that, you know, that the developers, you know, you give them a little bit of slack. You know, they put a lot of hard work over the years. This is their first, like, big AAA endeavor. And, you know, like I said, there is the pandemic to consider. So we have that to kind of look at and go, well, you know, maybe some of this stuff is, you know, I don't want to say warranted, but I want to say a little bit more understandable than, you know, some of the other stuff. And so hopefully we can cut them a little bit of slack and, you know, wait to see how this kind of absolutely goes out there and does it. You know, I really do want to see, you know, this game succeed. I want to see, you know, everything kind of succeed. And, you know, I really need to think that, you know, as a developer, if this were to tank, if this game were to tank and be bad and be in a situation like CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk 2077, I just feel like we'd be in a situation where that developer would possibly end up having to close down, because according to them, they weren't making any money off of their previous games anyway. Those like double A's and indies and stuff like that, they weren't making real money off of that stuff. So that is a very unfortunate situation. And, you know, at the same time, I still think that, you know, at the end of the day, developers can do better, but I think that developers also deserve pretty much a real chance. You know, they really deserve a chance to kind of go out there and prove themselves and to fix their issues. I don't think that just because you know, their game is having issues right now, which might not even be their fault, by the way, but just because their games, these games are out there having some issues, doesn't necessarily mean that you know, that's indicative of their quality, because obviously the game has went over extremely well for a lot of people and a lot of developers. I mean, it's sitting at an 86 on Metacritic, which is phenomenal for a brand new IP. So we do have to kind of look at that and say, well, maybe we cut them a little bit of a break. But I do totally understand the frustration with people who are upset, you know, overall with the situation. And I understand that, you know, people want their stuff to work. You pay $70 for something, you want it to work, and it's unfortunate when this stuff kind of goes wrong and it doesn't really work out. And, you know, it's you know, and this really sucks because it's not necessarily the game situation. It looks 100% like it's a Sony problem and the PlayStation 5 platform problem. So obviously there's a lot of players around the world who are reporting the issue, so it isn't an isolated incident. I saw it all over my feed yesterday. It's a very ambitious game that they just released, you know, and apart from having like some day one bugs, the game also puts a heavy load on the console, as, you know, Returnal's gameplay requires players to survive on a, you know, shape-shifting planet. That's part of the deal. So you know, I think that this is something that a lot of people are going to maybe look at and kind of say, hey, you know, let's cut them a little bit of slack. We understand, you know, like myself personally, I'm doing that. I'm cutting them a little bit of slack, and I'm also making sure, you know, to just say, hey, let's just chill. Let them, you know, give it a couple days, see what happens. Maybe everything can update and we get like good fixes and stuff like that. That's the best advice I can give anyone themselves, because I see so many people say, hey, I got to this part, or I tried to open this chest and I couldn't, or I tried to go through this door and I couldn't, and the game crashed, and, you know, I was fighting the boss, and, you know, and I find that that's really unfortunate. So with that being said, I will link this in the description, and I would appreciate anybody to check that out. Let me know what you think. This is Crapgamer. This has been Crapgamer Reviews. Like, share, subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Take care. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.